That off in the feature on the card, the Naas Racecourse Business Club Limestone Lad Hurdle. It's a grade 3 with 6 runners in the lineup. So over 2 miles straight to the front. Cash back, 1 of 2 in the race for Willie Mullins. Strides on in front of Bob Ollinger. Meet and greet third on the outside of Durasso, winner of last year's edition. Tracked by Echoes and Rain, 2 from 2 here at Naas, and a bit off them, the big outsider, Daddy Lad. Flight 1 of 8. Sees Cashback land with a couple of lengths advantage over Bob Ollinger. Meet and greet in third. Followed after a break of a few lengths. Echoes and Rain and Durasso racing together. Adrift is Daddy Lad. Flight number 2. And the final flight next time. Cashback and Danny Mullins. Stretch on by over 3 lengths to Bob Ollinger. Rachel Blackmore third is Meet and Greet. Philip in right. And then Echoes and Rain, Paul Townend. Durasso, Luke Dempsey with the back marker. Daddy Lad and Sean O'Keefe. Mile and a half to go as they turn towards the third flight. Very few changes in the order of running. It's Cashback out in front of Bob Ollinger. Then Meet and Greet, Echoes and Rain has moved into 4th place ahead of Durasso with the back marker Daddy Lad. Shaping up for flight number 3. Cashback in front of Bob Ollinger. Then Meet and Greet and Echoes and Rain, taking closer order in the half colours. And then Durasso and Daddy Lad. Heading to the final 10 furlongs, and it's Cashback, gathered in by Bob Ollinger, reverting to the conventional 2 miles this afternoon. Echoes and Rain continues to work up to the 2 leaders, joins Meet and Greet for the third. Then a break to Durasso, who's out in front of Daddy Lad. The 4th flight at ballpark, the halfway stage. Cashback up and over by a couple of lengths to Bob Ollinger, then Meet and Greet. Back mark of the leaders is Echoes and Rain, benefiting from a mare's allowance. In touch is Durasso, leaving behind Daddy Lad. 7 furlongs to go, 4 flights to jump. In the Naas Racecourse Business Club Limestone Lad Hurdle. Cashback yet to be headed, leads the length Bob Ollinger. Just in third is Meet and Greet, and then Echoes and Rain. 4 lengths to Durasso. 3/4 of a mile to go and 4 flights to jump. It's Cashback and Danny Mullins, a length in front of Bob Ollinger and Rachel Blackmore. Third is Meet and Greet and Philip Enright. Losing second in the air there, Bob Ollinger to Meet and Greet. Echoes and Rain close up fourth on the inside for Paul Townend as they come to the third last flight. Cashback, Meet and Greet, Bob Ollinger. Echoes and Rain the leading 4, followed by Durasso, who's stoked along to try and close on the 4 up front with half a mile to go and 2 flights to jump. Cashback joined on the turn in by Meet and Greet. Hot on their heels is Echoes and Rain, struggling as Bob Ollinger has dropped off them, and then Durasso. Turning in, 3 furlongs to race and 2 flights to jump. It's Cashback from Meet and Greet. Slipstreamed by a smooth going Echoes and Rain, then Bob Ollinger and Durasso. As they face the second last, it's Cashback followed through by stable companion Echoes and Rain, who pops it with plenty to spare on the inside. In between the final 2 flights, and Echoes and Rain is rolling along over on the far side, comes to take stable companion Cashback, and at the last it's Echoes and Rain, easily accounting for them here. Up the hill inside the final furlong, it's Echoes and Rain, jumping back from her fall in the Hatton's Grace to win the Limestone Lad. And does it again here at Naas. Echoes and Rain and Paul Townend, emphatic winners for Willie Mullins. Also as the second Cashback, Bob Ollinger in third. Meet and Greet home in 4th.
Willie Mullins joins us now. We've just seen Echoes in Rain land the feature event. Willie, it's been quite a 24 hours or so, but let's deal with Echoes in Rain first of all. How pleased to see her win the Limestone Lad Hurdle with plenty to spare, let's face it.
Plenty to spare. I was hoping I thought she was the fastest horse over this trip at 2 miles, and Paul's idea going out was that he was just going to use his speed, which he did, and but I was amazed at how well she won as well. Cashback ran a cracker as well because he had been disappointing, and he seems to be coming back to himself, so maybe we'll find a race for him as well.
The winner had run well in the Mare's Hurdle at Cheltenham last year. Would that be a likely next stop for her?
I think so. That's where she has to go. I think when you step her up to grade 1, she's a little bit short of speed, and she was a little keen there today, but that we were mixing flat racing with her last summer and when you do that, that's what happens. So whether we'll put a hood on or the next day, but then possibly the pace in Cheltenham will be fast enough, so maybe we won't have to. But I'll have a chat with Paul about that.
Willie, the day started on a dramatic note. I'm not sure whether you were actually here to see the race, but
No.
Ramillies was first past the post in the
Yeah.
Finley Ford Grade 3 novice chase and was demoted.
Yeah.
Is there an
I
opinion
saw,
you can give us about it all?
Well, it depends what way you look at it. I thought our horse had pushed out. I think it was Rachel's horse on the inside going to the second last, pushed us out in the middle of the track, and Paul was just getting back onto his own racing line. And then the horse that got the race after he saw an opportunity and came through. Was he through far enough? The stewards obviously thought he was. I don't know. I want to see it again, but it's one of those 50-50s, I think.
We've had a few instances like that, both flat and national hunt racing over the past couple of years. Do you feel that maybe there should be clarification of the protocol for the stewards in that situation in terms of how far a horse has to be into a gap before it shuts?
It's hard. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of rules there, but it's hard on a day, and the constantly changing speed of the horses going. I could see Brian Cooper. He had to try and go where he was going. I mean, I would have said, should he have not been in that position? From the time he turned for home, you could see that he was going to get in trouble. So whether he did get in trouble, you've got to look at who caused it, I thought maybe Rachel's horse coming out on top of our fellow going to we were the innocent party going to the second last, and then Paul was trying to correct it, but anyhow, we'll see. I haven't spoken to Paul about it, and it's a very hard one for stewards as well, because they're looking at it head on. I don't think there's any side on camera down there. You'd like to see how much Brian Cooper came up, but there we are.
It's a very busy time of year. Obviously, the Dublin Racing Festival is coming up. Would that maybe influence your decision about whether you might appeal that result or not?
Yeah, I think there's enough going on, but a lot will depend on what way Paul thinks, and if Paul feels he should have a go at it, we'll do it,
We'll see what comes.
Yeah,
You'll watch
we'll
it
see
again,
what
I'm
happens.
sure, in the meantime, anyway.
Yeah, there'll be a bit of discussion about it later on tonight.
Good stuff.
So,
Willie,
yeah.
how's energy mean after Cheltenham yesterday? Has he got back okay?
Yeah, travelled back fine. Happy enough with him. I'm delighted we went over, and it's a stroke of fortune that the race was put back to Cheltenham. Where he got a look at those fences that are different from the Irish fences, and I think that could be blessing in disguise maybe when we go back there in March.
That's interesting, because oftentimes when you have a hot favourite turned over like that,
Yeah.
a lot of people might think you'd struggle to take positives. You sound very much glass half full, are you?
Oh yeah. I thought what he did at the first, he took a good look at it, and as I said before, we had schooled him over the English style fences that we have at home, over hurdles and fences, and he knew all about it. But yes, when he went down to the first, he had a good look at it and went a mile up in the air. And in a 2 mile race, when you want your position, when you want to be settling into racing, going down to the first, it doesn't matter so much in maybe in a 3 mile race or 2.5 miles, but in the likes of Cheltenham, going for a champion chase or any grade one like yesterday, you need to jump everything perfectly.
I remember after Shishkin beat him in that race at Ascot last season, you spoke about having a think tank down at Closutton with the likes of Ruby and David Casey, everybody throwing in their tuppence worth about how you might get the right result at Cheltenham. Can we expect something similar this time?
I hope so. Paul was very bullish. It's probably not the right word, but he said he wouldn't swap Energumene for the two that beat him yesterday. But that was a tremendous performance from the winner yesterday. He set out, made his own running, got past and stayed on again. That's not a bad performance, and Edwardstone obviously ran very well, whether he blew up or what, to get past, but proper grade 1 for him, I think, so we have to improve, but Paul thinks that improvement is there.
We were at Fairyhouse, where of course you got the magical 4,000 up at Braun in the first, and then
Yeah.
Astro Diamond took the Solarina. Did you raise a glass over in Cheltenham to those victories last night?
We did, 1 or 2, yeah.
Astro Diamond, that must have really pleased you though, did it?
It did. I thought Danny was very good on her. He looked like he was going to be in a bit of a pocket, and he eventually got her out and got her running, and it's a nice run. She picks up a £5 penalty now for the mayor's hurdle and for the novice hurdle in Cheltenham, which is, that's the downside of that. But we have we've a race won, so you have to take those penalties.
And Willie, finally, just coming back to today, a couple of chances to add to the tally. Seabank Bistro, who's been a little bit disappointing overall so far.
He has.
Recruiting the bumper. What's your thoughts
He
there?
has, but I think he won his bumper here, didn't he?
He did.
Seabank Bistro, yeah. So horses for courses, I always go with that. I think he's in good form, so I'm going with that. And nice horse in the bumper, Western Diego, doing things nicely at home. So hopefully keep up Patrick's good run in bumpers.
Patrick none the worse for his fall yesterday. It was quite a nasty spill he got, wasn't it?
It was. I just looked at the television and I said, gee, Patrick's horse is jumping well, then bang.
I thought the exact same,
one of
actually,
those things, yeah. I think he might have got blind. Well, I didn't look at the rerun, but someone said he got blinded. Met the owner afterwards, yeah. Patrick said he got blinded going to it. So he was fine.
Good to hear he's none the worse. Well, best of luck for the rest of the day. Thanks, Willie.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate it.
Subscribe to Racing TV's YouTube channel now to watch more great races like this.